Hi YouTube, it's Kara. Okay, so my last video was about bullying. This this video is going to actually be about laser and how I actually had a really bad reaction to laser. Now I can't show you the pictures because I wasn't wearing any makeup, and not that I think that I look bad without makeup, but my facial hair was quite prominent and it just wasn't very good. Now, when you have laser, you're theoretically burning the follicles. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's going in and causing a reaction. Now, it's done by a lot of heat. So, what happens when you get a burn? Well, you get swelling and scarring. Now, 3 weeks ago I had laser. This is why I haven't updated since, but I thought that I would go through and talk to everyone about what happened to me, because it was quite scary. So I went in as per normal to get my laser done, stated that, you know, my top lip, I just felt like it wasn't as cleared away as what I was hoping. The lady that did it said, "Oh, let's turn up the laser." And I was like, "Oh, sure, we can turn up the laser. What does it do?" And she said, "Oh, it'll just clear it. You might get a little bit more red, but it'll be fine." And I went, "Okay, sure." So I went along with it. I did agree. I didn't think that the reaction that I got was going to actually happen. So what happened was, she started doing it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this really, really hurts." She's like, "Oh, but can you bear it?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, I can bear it." She gets through half my face, and I said, "I need a break." I said, "This is too much. I need a break." And she's like, "Okay, we'll do your back." As everyone knows, I get my chest and my back done. So I was getting my back done, and I was like, "Okay, I can handle it on my back." She went to my chest, and she was doing my stomach and coming up to my breasts. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is really, really hurting, really hurting. I need a break." So I went for a break. Well, actually, just before that, she's like, "Oh, you've got a couple of red dots on your face that I'm a bit worried about." I was like, "Oh, okay. I don't know what to do." But anyway, I said, "I need a break." I'm a smoker, and I went out and had a smoke, and I could feel it burning still, and I was like, this was really bad. And so anyway, I went back in and said to her, "Look, you know, when it's really sore, can we turn the laser down just a little bit, just for the other side?" And she's like, "No, no, no, we're nearly finished. Let's keep going." Okay, well, it's only hurting, you know, once I get out of here, it doesn't hurt. So I had it done. When I got home, my face actually, the two spots that she was talking about, had started coming up really red. And I said to my housemate, I'm like, you know, like, this is really red and it's a bit sore still. And I had cold packs on my face to try and stop this burning sensation that I was getting. And I was really tired, so I went to bed, and I wake up at about, it's been about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I walked in, and I almost cried. I was so freaked out at what I saw. Now, what had happened was, the natural response to this happening is my face had swollen, and like, I'm going to squish my face down so you can see, and this isn't even comparable. Okay, so yes, this is fat, but what I was looking at was fluid. Okay, so no, you can't even tell. Like, this is unbelievable. Like, my chin was like here, right? I had no chin, no throat. It was one. It was disgusting, and I was so freaked out about this happening. And I went into my housemate. I woke her up, and I'm like, "Look at my face." And she was worried, and she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "It's just really swollen." So I got some more cold packs and went back to bed. Anyway, I wake up in the morning thinking, okay, the swelling is going to go down. and I just touched my face, and it was so sore and still swollen. I got up, I looked in the mirror, and it was worse. So much worse. And I went and sat on the couch, just not even sure what to do or what to think. I was so embarrassed. I just couldn't fathom what was happening. And my housemate sitting there going, and she's an emergency nurse. She works in an emergency department, which I think people call outpatient. Anyway, and she's like, maybe you need to go see the doctor. And this is on a Saturday. And I was like, ugh, I think maybe I should, but I just didn't want to leave the house. I felt grotesque. I felt so just disgusted with my face and what people would think. And besides the swelling, I actually had more blisters showing up here and here. Now, I'm going to just show you. You can kind of see a little bit there, a little bit here. Underneath this makeup, I still have red dots. I can't even compare it with anything red that I have here. But, no, that's just nail polish. It was red. It was really, really red. They're still red there, red dots. If you see any discoloration, that's what it is. And this is 3 weeks later. I still have discoloration and a hole in my face. It's disgusting. It's so upsetting. So anyway, I called her, left a message saying, look, my face is swollen. I don't know what to do. No, I said, I'm putting ice packs on, but I don't know what to do. Could you call me back? Because I was so worried. Is this natural? Is this meant to happen? The nurse side of me, the science side of me is going, it's inflammatory response. This is, it's normal for an insult like this to cause this reaction, but this was extreme. I went to the emergency department, contacted a doctor friend of mine, and sent her pictures and was going, what do I do? Went to the emergency department and saw a doctor. I actually had, this is how embarrassed I was. I had a hoodie on, so it was covering my face, and was actually walking around like this because I didn't know. I know people that work there, and I was so embarrassed. So I can't get over the embarrassment because it's the worst thing that's ever happened to me at this point, that I've actually felt disgusted to go out. So I went in, and they were a bit concerned. They're like, okay, can you breathe? Can you not breathe? I'm like, no, I can breathe. But I was getting worried that it was going to start blocking off my airway. So they were going to give me, it's called a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory. But if you're asthmatic, you can't take them. Some people that are asthmatic can't take them. With me, it brings on an asthma attack. Even though I'm a smoker, it still does. I don't know why. This is my reaction. So they ended up having to give me a steroid to bring the swelling down, and painkillers, because at this point my face was so tender, I couldn't move my head, I couldn't do anything. So I went in, I was on them for 4 days, and I ended up contacting this lady. I ended up calling her myself on Monday morning going, did you get my message? I've sent you some pictures, tell me what to do, blah, blah. She goes, oh, I'll pay for some ointment. Yeah, okay, pay for some ointment, sure. I ended up getting the whole week off from work because I couldn't be seen in public. Didn't leave the house at all, went to the doctor's after the swelling had gone pretty much down. It was still a bit swollen, it was still, a bit grotesque. When I saw my doctor, she ended up having to give me antibiotics because all of the blisters that had formed on my face were starting to get infected. I was cleaning my face, trying to, promote healing, and it didn't work. The burns were so deep that, every bug was getting in there and just having a field day. So I had the week off work, ended up waiting to hear from her, and I haven't heard from her for 3 weeks now. So I'm really disgusted. I'm not going back to her now, and I'm probably going to write a nice little letter to her saying, you know, my face is still ruined. I have a hole here, and as I said, like marking around my face, which I can cover up with makeup, but I'm not full-time at work, so I don't wear makeup at work. It's quite distressing for me. And it's expensive, but I've found someone else that will do laser for me who has worked with transgendered people, so hopefully this is going to be a little bit better. I don't know. Also, the other thing I wanted to show off was my hair. Yay, short hair. This is actually my hair. So I was saying to everyone I wasn't going to do a video until my hair looked a bit better. This is my hair. It's not styled as good as I'd like. I still want to get hair extensions, but this is okay. Tell me what you think. I mean, some people think it looks natural, because it is. Tell me, you know, send me a message if you've had a reaction, and mine, from what I've seen on the internet, mine's probably the worst reaction I've seen. Like, it was, I know that's probably what everyone says, but it was so bad. Like, my airway could have been blocked up. Like, I was so scared. Anyway, tell me what has happened with you guys. Tell me how you've all been. I'm still getting messages from people, and I'm trying to respond. So if I take a little bit, just send another message to say, hey, you've missed me. Yeah, anyway, I am 2 months off transitioning. Actually, a little bit less than 2 months, like by 2 days. So, fingers crossed it all goes well, and anyway, bye. Thank you for watching.